Hey everyone, this is Leah from Dumpster Fire Budgets, and as you can see today we're going to work through surface bonding cement and what it means to put that on a cinder block house. So as you can see right here, there are the bags of surface bonding cement. I gave you a list of products right at the beginning that you can see prices and compare. Now what we did is we just poured some in a bucket and then we mixed it to a consistency that would stay the consistency as he pours out the bucket here. Now there was a little bit of trial and error with this. My husband liked in there you can add a little bit more water to make it a little bit thinner. You can see he's using the trowel to scoop it out and dump it into the bucket. We use this pan just for ease of application. It made it easier to put the surface bonding cement on the trowel, and then as you can see, as I was applying, there were some rocks that occasionally popped up in the bag, so I just took those off and set them on the ground, went back and cleaned them up later. You can see this goes on pretty smoothly. This is a little bit thinner consistency, what I liked. You can see where I put a smiley face. You can see it's really easy to use, and then you can smear right over top of it. So what we talked about at the beginning is having a little bit of a rougher surface that kind of mimics stucco in a way. Decided that that wasn't what we wanted. So right here I'm just applying it and then smoothing it out a little bit, and then we'll go back over it with a brush. You'll see that in the next image that's coming up. This is just a little handheld broom brush that we had. You can buy them in stores as well. Probably both Home Depot and Lowe's or whatever your local hardware store is, or grab a broom that you already have. Just have the broom wet, and you can see here where we're thinning it out towards the very edge. We ran out of surface bonding cement and needed to go back and pick some up from the store. So we spread it out real thin at the edge so then we can just pick up from where we left off. I'd say this wall probably took 2.5 hours. It's a little bit shorter on one end and a little bit taller on the other. It's probably about 4 feet on the end that I'm working on right now. I had lots of help during this. You can also see that I'm super duper pregnant, so this is not something that takes a lot of energy. It just takes a lot of time. So you can see there where I'm working around the gutter, I'm working around the electrical box. That tiny angled trowel made it a whole lot easier to do and to apply. I did a lot of standing and a lot of sitting. I will warn you that sometimes it will make your back hurt. Sometimes it will make you, like, your chest will hurt. My husband had problems with that. But overall, just know that you're going to be pulling some kind of strange muscles. So right here is about a 15-foot section, 15 by 4. So that'll tell you about how much surface bonding cement one bag gets you. So right here, he's mixing again, adding some more too, and we are finishing up the wall. I'm going to show you an image in just a second of where we're trying to finish up the edge and trying to decide what to do with that. So you can see the front of our house has a brick facade. It really has bricks laid. But we weren't really sure where to end because I could run it all the way up to the brick. I decided just to cover the crack that was there, and which is not a huge crack, but it's just there where the edge of the cement and the mortar run together. Here is just an up-close picture of what it looks like, and while it's roughed up, and then at the very end where we ended up finishing out, we used the brush just to go over top of it to give it a little bit smoother appearance. This is a budget video, so I'm going to tell you a few ways that you could cut back on some expenses. First, you could use, if you want this smooth surface, you could use a broom that you already have. You could also use a bucket or holding container that you already have. You're just going to mix that surface bonding cement to the consistency that will stay on the wall. You do want your wall to be damp when you're applying it, so you can use a bucket of water or you can use a spritzer that you already have instead of a hose and splash that up on the wall. You don't want your wall to be drenched, but you do want it to be wet. The surface bonding cement will stick to the wall. I also would only I would have been perfectly comfortable having one trowel, and I would have gone with the triangle trowel. It does make it slower, but you can get around more of the tight fit spaces. And let's see, what else could you cut off here? If you really needed to, you could scrub the cinder block prior to application, just using a really firm brush that you have. We recommend, or it's recommended, that you power wash or pressure wash the cement or the concrete, the cinder block wall, before you put the surface bonding cement on it. We did use a pressure washer. We already had one. But if you want to put in lots of extra work and you do want to have a limited budget on this, or you want to cut down the costs, then just go ahead and scrub it down with whatever brush that you already have, and make sure that your cinder block is cleaned before application.